Do you ever feel like you have so much more potential, like there's a Hulk inside you waiting to be let out? Because I've been there. And I was only able to tap into that version of myself after fixing these stupid mistakes. Every time I've helped people make these small adjustments, they finally started being able to do things they never dreamed of. And they went from looking average to looking like they actually fucking lift. So I'm breaking down the 5 common mistakes you might be making that's secretly killing your progress, and exactly how to fix them so you never waste a second of your life in the gym again. And by the end of this, you're gonna get so fucking jacked that you're gonna get swarmed around by hundreds of sexy, sweaty men asking you what supplements you take. Now, the first mistake is like my ex. It makes you think you're getting the job done, but you're far from that. And I learned the true power of this because of the very first session with every new client I sign. So they'll be doing their set and I tell them, okay, we're doing 10 reps. Now, FY information, I'm shit at counting, man. 1, 2, 7. So I'd ask them to grab the heaviest weights they can and do 10 reps with those and what they normally lift in the gym. But what always happens is that they go way more than that 10 rep range because I'm not counting. Are we done yet? Yeah, almost. Just keep going. They even go to 20 plus reps sometimes because they're relying on me to do the counting. And once I see that look in their face, see the body fatiguing, I say, okay, 3 more. And suddenly, those last 3 reps become the hardest, most dramatic reps they've done. And this isn't because their body was fatigued. It's because their mind was playing games with them. Because if I had waited a few seconds after and said, okay, 3 more reps, they would have done it too. I've seen this happen a million times. The problem with doing 3 sets of 10 is because we're training based on a number we mentally prepare ourselves for, when we should be training for mechanical tension. Sometimes you're doing 10 reps, but you might have a few more reps left in you, despite grabbing the heaviest weights you could handle. You see, our muscles don't have eyes or mind. They don't give a fuck about 10 reps. They respond to mechanical tension, to you stretching and squeezing the fuck out of them. And that's what we should be focusing on, and here's exactly how to do it. At the end of your set, ask yourself, honestly, how hard did I work on a scale from 1 to 10? 10 being absolute death. You're crying after your set. You're saying, fuck this, I can't, I'd rather be gay. You should be aiming to work 8 and above on all your sets. Now, going to that intensity, it's hard. When I was younger and I was lifting weights, I lifted like a fucking idiot. Went super heavy for everything and anything. But after stopping weightlifting for years and going into sports and getting terribly injured, I became a bit more cautious. I restarted lifting 4 months ago and I wasn't able to go as hard as I used to, which sucked because I was missing out on fast results. But over the last few weeks, I saw myself getting back to how I used to be. And I learned that even training hard, being intense in the gym is a skill, and it takes time and attention to master. And one more tip, instead of saying just 10 reps, we use rep ranges like 8 to 12 reps or 15 to 20. Now you might aim for 12 reps, but you train with so much intensity that you're already gassed by rep 8. So imagine you're doing a bench press for 8 to 12 reps. You should be fucking sweating and talking to Jesus by the 6th rep, hoping you don't die on this set or do a poopy in your pants. And if you want to make it to that 12th rep, we need to use everything. Muscles in your butts, the trauma from the girl who dumped you 10 years ago, the girl who laughed at you when you asked her for a number last week. That's why I have a mustache now, so she never identifies me again. So by using rep ranges and asking yourself, how hard did you work at the end of every set? We're working towards that mechanical tension, which is what really drives muscle growth versus having just one number, 10. Now, if this was helpful so far, I promise you, I can help you get jacked and lose 4.2 kilos of fat in the next month. All you have to do is let me email you the process one day at a time. Now, this next one is like a mouse trap because it used to make me think I'm the smartest in the gym. I'm ahead of all these peasants. But I was a jackass wasting my time. And I see this so often. everywhere. So back when I first started 13, 14 years ago, I lived on YouTube and I learned a lot of things from here. I'd research what are the best exercises for each muscle, like back, for example. And what I would see was, lat pull down, pull-ups, dumbbell row, cable rows. And then I'd go and slap all these in one back workout. So I'm doing all the best exercises. It's over for you all. But in reality, I was doing a lat pull down, which is this movement. And then I'd go and do a pull-up, which is also this movement. And then I'd go do a dumbbell row, which is this movement. And then also go do a cable row, which is also this movement. I was wasting my time in the gym doing the same thing like a jackass twice. It's like going to wash your car and then immediately driving to the same car wash again. Now, if my back workout had one vertical pull, one horizontal pull like this, where my elbow comes in, and maybe another one where my elbow comes out like this, then it's different because it hits a different part of the back. And that makes more sense. Now, they're all great exercises, don't get me wrong, but you can't pair them together because they don't work well with each other. Just like my parents. Try to be a bit more aware of the movement patterns you do. I did a bench press, so my chest is fried. It would be stupid to go and do another press. So let me do some flies instead, or some dips. Not a chest press machine. And if you want to have an idea of what a complete program looks like, in my Jacked at 15% guide, there's a sample one in there. That way, you optimally train your entire body in the most minimal way, not wasting any time, but neither are you leaving any stone unturned. Now, sometimes you can follow the most perfect plan in the world for months and still look like a coat hanger. Now, this was me not even a year ago whilst training, but this was me 10 years ago when I knew maybe 1% of what I do now. You see, after doing a lot of courses, I learned a lot of things. Blah, blah, blah. There are countless ways to train, kind of like driving somewhere. You can take the calm back roads, or you can take the fast, high-paced highway. Both get you to the same destination, just in different ways. But back then, I took the quiet routes, the exercises I liked, the ones I enjoyed doing, the ones I looked forward to. But then here, after doing all these fucking wanky courses, I started doing shit I didn't even like. I hated because I started taking the highway and I just showed up half the time and just got done with it like it's a prison sentence or a bad first date. So I'm going to tell you the same thing I tell all my paying in-person clients. You don't fucking need any of this. You don't need me. I got in the best shape of my life by just going to the gym, doing what I like the most with some strategy and intensity. Now, don't get me wrong, you still want to choose good exercises. So if you're working chest, you don't want to do a floor press that has absolutely no stretch at the bottom, which is the primary driver for building muscle. Instead, you want to look at the movement pattern. What is this? Okay, maybe a bench press, maybe a dumbbell press, maybe a machine chest press. And then you just choose your favorite one. There's no right or wrong. Some exercises for some people feel fucking awesome, but those might feel shit for you. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. It's literally like your ex and her new boyfriend. She was shit for you, but maybe great for this new chump she's with. Now, okay, fine. Maybe a Bayesian cable curl is more optimal than a dumbbell bicep curl because there's continuous tension throughout the movement and a better stretch. But who cares, man? If you like the dumbbell curl, you look forward to them, you want to go really heavy on those, that is the most important thing. Because then you're lifting to get real results, not just okay. So when you're choosing your exercises, choose the ones you actually like, man. When you search for these naughty videos that you watch, you don't just go to the first one. You wait and you research and you select the best one that fits your needs. My neighbor's hot wife keeps getting stuck in her washing machine. That's the one you choose. And if you were to just choose some random one, Now, most people in the gym are working their asses off, but barely building any muscle because they have one bad habit that's destroying their gains. So in my life, I've never won gold in anything. I've always lived in the second and third place in whatever sports. And every time I bring home a medal, my parents looked at me in disappointment. My son's a hairy, wanking failure. Until one day, I had an opportunity to enter a weightlifting competition at my university. And I wasn't prepared. I was wearing jeans and I did the competition randomly. I swapped pants with my friends whose butt is quite moist. So I did my absolute best and I murdered everyone there. One of the categories was push-ups and I did so much more than everyone because I was doing them fast. Because if I were to go there and go down slowly and control like a professional, my push-up count would have dropped in half. Now, when it comes to building muscle, the speed you lift your weights at actually matters. Research shows us that a slower, eccentric, lowering movement paired with a fast contraction is optimal. So sometimes what happens is when we're in the gym, we get ahead of us, our egos take control, and then we're picking weights we can't control. And if you're training like that, it's like going for a buffet and skipping out the main course. Because that eccentric, slow control is key. If you're bouncing around like the night I lost my virginity, you're not getting into those deep stretches, there's no mind-muscle connection, and you're more prone to getting injured. So if you want to impress the honeys, okay, go ahead, live like an animal, no problem. But if you want to build muscle fast, then ironically, slow down the reps on the lowering parts of the movement. Now, if you make these changes, I'm confident you're going to build muscle much faster. But the truth is, none of this is going to work if you don't go to the gym consistently. Now, what if I told you there was a little detail or hack that makes being consistent easier and training actually fun? You see, when I was younger, I trained in all these tiny ghetto-ass gyms. I fucking loved it there. It wasn't completely ideal once the bar snapped while I was doing a deadlift, but the people, man, the vibe, the community, everyone was so down to earth. It was close to my house. I fucking loved it there and I miss it so much. Now I go to this wanky ass commercial gym full of retards. Today I was walking over to a leg extension machine and this girl sees me walking towards it behind me. She's behind me and she just runs to it first. What the fuck? And 2 weeks ago, I asked the guy, how many sets do you have on the same machine? 6 sets. And then he keeps continuing his sets on his phone. I can honestly say I was 10 times happier training in the smaller, tinier gyms. And I'm going to look for another one. I'd rather train with the dishwashers, the cleaners, the delivery guys than those idiots. Because this is so important, man. If it's close to your house and there's nice people, then you walk into the gym with a positive attitude and you leave it with some of the best workouts and even laughs with friends in the gym. So when you're choosing your gym, try to find a nice place that's convenient for you, has good equipment, nice people, good vibes, and if it's shit, change it, man. It's like getting married. The initial choice is so important, more important than you think. So now you know, don't let rep numbers cap your effort. You can always push more, don't leave anything on the table. And avoid doing the same movements twice if you can. Pick exercise you actually enjoy. Control your reps instead of flinging them around and choose a gym that feels like home to you. Do those 5 things and you're already training smarter than 90% of the people and you're gonna get jacked, my friend. And don't forget to check out all the free stuff in the description. It'll help you get there much faster. Now you can train perfectly and slap on slabs of new muscle. But if you've still got layers of fat covering it all up, no one's gonna see a damn thing. So watch this next. If you want to lose fat fast without eating less, no extra effort or ridiculous cardio sessions.